Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing Inmate to Roommate episode 3 featuring David and Aaron. Now in the last episode, David picked up Aaron from the prison and they went out to eat and they got to know each other at the restaurant. They talked for a little bit and, we found out that the guys really don't know each other at all. They communicated via prison email about justice reform issues only, but they never really talked about each other's personal life, so they know nothing about each other. So they're getting to know each other now, and it's kind of awkward, and the episode ended with David and Aaron just kind of chilling in their living room, talking and just, getting familiar with each other. So it is the next morning and the guys are just waking up. David is sitting in his room at his desk. Looks like he's doing some work. And then Aaron is in his room with the door closed and you can hear him singing very loudly. Sounds like he's singing a gospel song or something inspirational. He's kind of loud and he's really going in. He has a nice voice though. David is sitting at his desk and he's looking around in confusion, probably wondering why Aaron is singing so loud first thing in the morning. I have to admit, it caught me off guard as well. David told the producers that he woke up and he remembered that, there's someone new in my house. And now he has to get used to sharing his space with someone. He got up and he went to go knock on Aaron's door. And when he answered, David said, "Hey, are you hungry?" And Aaron's like, "Yeah, I can eat." Aaron said that he woke up feeling good. He said that he is miles away from that prison. He woke up in his own room and that he's always loved to sing. And that's his way of giving thanks and getting his praise on. David was in his interview with the producers and he told them that Aaron wakes up and wants to sing to the world. And David said that can potentially become annoying. And I agree with David. Like, I would hate to wake up to someone singing loud. The guys make their way to the kitchen and they're about to cook breakfast. They have steak and bacon and eggs and a variety of other breakfast foods. Aaron is cooking and he said it feels good to cook real food again. He said he hasn't had steak in forever. He said in prison they give you something like chicken fried steak, but he said it's really just ground up squirrel. Aaron goes on to say that he could have bacon with every single meal. What is up with him and bacon? But he says he can eat bacon with every meal. And David says, well, that's not really kosher. And Aaron says, well, I don't even know what that means. And David's like, really? And he goes on to tell him that it just means that with certain food laws, they're not allowed to eat pork. And then Aaron says, well, that could never be me. I can never be kosher. Oh, I think I forgot to mention, in one of David's little one-on-one interviews with the producer, he had mentioned that he didn't know that Aaron was a religious person. When he heard Aaron singing gospel music and giving praise first thing in the morning, that kind of let him know that, Aaron's probably a Christian or religious, and he had no idea. So I think he brought up the whole kosher comment because he probably felt that because Aaron is really a religious, he should be kosher. Just wanted to add that part. After the guys finish cooking, they head out to the patio to eat their breakfast, and Aaron bows his head and he says his grace. David told the producers that he grew up Jewish and he doesn't have a lot of experience living with people who are committed Christians the way Aaron is. He also said that they definitely have two different traditions and that he usually doesn't pray before he eats. He said that he really didn't know that Aaron was into Christianity like that when he was in prison. Well, David, maybe you should have gotten to know him a little bit better. That's kind of on you. That's your fault. That's something really easily that you could have established, with the phone call, with the conversation. But they both said that for 2 years they have been communicating. They really didn't know each other too much. Like Aaron didn't even know that David is a high school teacher. And then now we see that David clearly didn't know that Aaron is a religious Christian. These are normal topics that I feel like they should have been discussed. Like, these are just little simple things. But anyway, they didn't do it. So now they're kind of shocked. It's like, kind of a shock. But while eating, they get into some household rules and expectations with one another. Aaron asked David what was his expectations of him, and David told him that they need to have open communication, and he told Aaron that he is responsible for anybody that he brings into that house. He also told Aaron that he is expected to clean up after himself. He then said something like, we all do stuff in the house, and then there's a lot of stuff that also needs to be done. So in other words, he's telling Aaron that he needs to, be prepared to pitch in and do some housework. And I guess he has a laundry list of household work and chores and things like that he plans on having Aaron assist him with. Aaron said to David, he said, no, not we, just you. And he kind of laughed it off. But, in other words, he's saying, no, you have a lot of housework and stuff to get done. But, I think that Aaron should have been a little bit more humble in that aspect, because you're living with this man rent-free, eating his food. And if you got to pitch in and do some housework here and there, you should be happy and willing to do it. Aaron told the producers that he understands and he appreciates that David is opening his house to him. And he appreciates the fact that they're setting out some ground rules. But he's not a kid, and he's not about to kiss David's ass. Okay, so now it's Aaron's turn to lay out some rules and expectations. And all David said was that, after 10 p.m., he doesn't want to talk anymore. He doesn't want to be social. And when he goes in his room and closes the door, that's pretty much a symbol for, well, leave me the hell alone. I just want to be left alone. He told the producers that he had to put some expectations out there too. He said it goes both ways, and I totally agree with that. David asked Aaron if there's anything that he should be looking out for, and Aaron said just sobriety. He said it's been a long 20-year battle, and I don't know what substance he battles with. I think they might have said meth in the first episode, or I don't know if it's alcohol, but he's clearly battling with something. Aaron told David that since he struggles with staying sober, if he were to ever reach out to him, he doesn't need David coming back to him and giving him a hard time and rubbing it in his face. Now, I wonder what Aaron meant by that. I wonder if he means, if I come to you or if I start using again, I want you to mind your business and look the other way and leave me alone. Or if he simply means like, hey, if I feel like I'm tempted to use, I'm going to come to you for help, and I don't want you giving me a hard time. See, it's a difference between the two. Now, Aaron does have one problem or a concern. He notices that he does not have a lease, which means that David is free to put him out at any given time without warning. So to Aaron, that's a lack of security. David just kind of explains that there is no lease because, they're trying to feel each other out and see if it's going to be a good fit and see if they'll get along. Because if there's not a lease, if something goes wrong, it's just an even break, But this part didn't sit well with me. Now, Aaron told David this. He said that although there is no lease, he said, don't put me out on the streets, because we can go from having just, simply having issues as roommates to bleep is my enemy real quick. I'm paraphrasing, but he says something like that. And to me, that was a slight threat. He was pretty much saying, you put me out, we're going to become enemies.
That goes from issues with my roommate to my enemy.
David said that there is a lot of trust that needs to be built. And there is a lot of things about Aaron that he just didn't know. And once again, David, that's on you. You should have vetted him. You should have got to know him. he's not just anybody. Like he's a felon with a record, with a long, extensive record at that. And you just really should have got to know him better. But anyway, you didn't. So now we're here. Aaron said that David said that he feels like it's a possibility that Aaron can burn a bridge with him. David also told Aaron that if he happens to be doing something that's annoying or something that Aaron didn't like, that Aaron should just let him know right away that, hey, I have a problem with this or that, so that there won't be a huge conflict or disagreement or argument. Aaron then goes on to say, like, yeah, if there's going to be any issues, they will have to change the living arrangements at the end of the month. And he doesn't want it to turn into a situation to where I'm going to burn your house down. And, Aaron said those words. And to me, I took that as a threat.
There is issues if there is butting of heads, being like, hey, let's change this living situation at the end of the month. So it's not I'm burning stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He kind of laughed it off in a joking way, but no, you don't joke like that about somebody's house. And you are a felon just getting out of prison too. No, you meant every word of that. It seems like Aaron is being very threatening in a passive aggressive way, and I just don't like it. I didn't find it funny. And then, David, of course, he laughed it off with that little nervous laugh. I know he didn't find it funny. That was a nervous laugh. Was it just me? Or did you guys think that Aaron was making threats low-key? Well, this concludes their little segment in episode 3. It wasn't too much to go over. They didn't have a big part, but their little scene was pretty action-packed to me. I think that we got to see Aaron's true colors. Yesterday he seemed kind of timid and, kind of shy or whatever. Today he's singing all loud. He's making threats. He's, he just seems a little bit more boisterous. And it also seems like David kind of has concerns about Aaron. Like, he says that Aaron is not the person that he thought he was going to be. But like, what did you really think he was going to be? You guys didn't talk about anything personal. And you guys had 2 years to get to know each other on the phone. That's more than enough time. But anyway, please let me know what you thought about this episode, what you thought about Aaron and David. Do you think Aaron was being threatening? And please comment, subscribe if you want, or at least come back and check me out. Until next time, I'll chat with you guys later.